When good people make you feel broken. 7 hidden signs you're being emotionally controlled. Have you ever walked away from a conversation and felt drained, even though there was no argument, no shouting, no harsh words? It's a quiet ache, a heaviness in your chest, a voice whispering in your mind. Did I say something wrong? Was I being too sensitive? Why do I always feel like this after talking to them? In the beginning, they were warm. They were kind. They made you feel special, like someone finally saw you, really saw you. But somewhere along the way, that warmth turned cold, and you can't pinpoint exactly when, because it wasn't an explosion. It was erosion. Subtle, silent, strategic. This isn't about toxic relationships, full of screaming and slamming doors. This is about people who make you doubt yourself, with smiles on their faces. People who disarm you with charm, and then take control, without you even noticing. They don't need to shout to hurt you. They don't need to force you to stay. They make you believe you want to stay, that you need to stay, even when your peace is bleeding out slowly. These are the people you must be most cautious of, and these are the 7 signs you might be trapped in their world, a world built on guilt, confusion, and control. 1. They rewrite reality and make you doubt your own mind. There was a man named James. He told me about a woman he once dated. At first, she was soft-spoken, attentive, always asking how his day went. But 3 months in, James began questioning his memory. He'd say, "Didn't we talk about meeting your parents on Sunday?" And she'd reply, "No, I never said that. You're imagining things again." He laughed it off, the first few times. But over time, he began to second-guess himself. Not just with her, with work, with friends, with everything. His confidence began to collapse, not from criticism, but from confusion. That's not love. That's mental manipulation. It's called gaslighting, a slow, calculated erosion of your trust in your own perception. The moment you start asking yourself, "Am I going crazy?" Stop, because the answer might be no. But someone is making you feel like you are. 2. They punish you with silence, not to heal, but to control. Emma was the kind of woman who didn't fight. She didn't raise her voice or insult you. But when she was upset, she'd go quiet. For hours, sometimes days. No messages, no glances, just ice. Her boyfriend, David, told me, "Whenever she shuts down, I feel like I'm suffocating. I replay every conversation in my head, trying to figure out what I did wrong." The truth. Sometimes he hadn't done anything, but that wasn't the point. Her silence wasn't peaceful, it was punishment. And when she finally broke the silence, it wasn't with understanding, it was with condescension. "Well, I guess I'll forgive you this time." That isn't reconciliation. It's control disguised as grace. When someone uses silence to make you anxious, to make you beg for forgiveness you don't owe, they're not healing. They're holding power over you. 3. They are always the victim, and you're always the villain. They've had a hard life, a broken family, toxic exes, deep scars. And you, being the kind soul you are, understand. You care. You give space. You try harder. But time passes, and nothing changes. You begin to realize, they don't heal. They weaponize their pain. Every mistake is someone else's fault. Every outburst is blamed on trauma. And the moment you express your own hurt, "You don't understand what I've been through. You're making this about you again. You're just like the people who hurt me." Before long, you're apologizing for your own emotions, and they're still blaming the world while using you to clean up the wreckage. For they diminish you quietly until you shrink. You got a promotion. They respond with, "Oh, that's nice. But you probably got it because they needed someone urgently." You finally ran that 5K. They say, "Wow, 5K. I did 10K last year without training." At first, it sounds like harmless teasing. But over time, it feels like a pattern. A slow starvation of validation. They never celebrate you, because your light threatens their shadow. And worse, while minimizing you, they exaggerate themselves. They boast. They shine. They always seem just a little more than you. You begin to believe that you'll never be good enough. And they never tell you otherwise, because that belief is what keeps you small, and them superior. 5. They create chaos, then act like a bystander. You notice drama follows them. They always seem to be at the center of conflict, between friends, at work, even with your own family. But they act like they had nothing to do with it. They just misunderstood me. I was only trying to help. People are always too sensitive. In reality, they plant seeds of suspicion and let others water them. They hint. They imply. They nudge people to turn on each other, then step back and play innocent. And if you confront them, they flip the script. So now it's my fault everything goes wrong. Yes, it might be. 6. They don't feel what you feel, and they make you feel weak for feeling. You cry. They roll their eyes. You open up. They change the subject. You share a dream. They laugh. Empathy isn't a luxury in a relationship. It's a lifeline. And yet, these people look at your emotions as flaws. They don't comfort you. They shame you. They don't ask what you need. They tell you to get over it. It's not that they don't feel. It's that they don't care. And when you feel invisible in someone's eyes, it doesn't matter how loud you scream. You'll never be heard because they were never listening to begin with. 7. You lose yourself slowly, quietly, completely. You stop laughing as much. You stop speaking up. You stop doing things you love because they might not approve. You become smaller, quieter, easier to manage, not because they told you to, but because their disapproval hangs over you like a cloud. And slowly, without noticing, you reshape yourself into the version of you that doesn't upset them. Until one day, you look in the mirror and don't recognize who's looking back, the ending or the beginning. Sometimes, the people who destroy us don't do it with violence. They do it with charm, silence, and subtlety. They smile while they drain you. But here's the truth they don't want you to realize. You are not weak for feeling. You are not crazy for questioning. And you are not unlovable for leaving. If someone makes you doubt your worth, your memories, your peace, that's not love. That's control. And you don't owe your loyalty to someone who is slowly stealing your soul.